What was that like for you, Kirk, when it was 33-0? Walk me through that moment.
Yeah, I think that the challenge with being a part of a comeback like that is you do have to get down 33-0 for it to become a great comeback, and that's the part you don't love. But everything that could go wrong did go wrong in the first half. Turnovers certainly contributed, and we were really struggling on offense to move the football. We knew they were a tough defense going into it, and they showed that. And I really, at halftime, didn't understand how, because Patrick Peterson was saying all we need is 5 touchdowns. And I thought, you watch the first half, getting 1 touchdown is going to be tough, let alone 5. So I really don't know quite how or what happened to suddenly enable us to move the ball so well in the second half. But we did, and got some help from our defense, only allowing 3 points in the second half. And next thing you know, you're looking at the scoreboard and you're tied and going to overtime.
I mean, it is absurd when the rallying cry is, all we need is 5 touchdowns. But so right? But when was the moment where, to a man, belief shot through everybody's hearts and minds in that game, do you think?
Well, I think there were some guys probably who believed earlier than others. But when I was on the bench and looked up and saw that it was a 15-point game with a good half of the fourth quarter left, I felt, this is very within reach. I mean, I had played against the Saints, and we were up 15 with 2.5 minutes left, and we ended up going to overtime and losing. So I knew that 15 points, being that it's just 2 possessions, can be, that lead can be gone fast. So I guess I kind of drew on previous experience, good and bad, to know that comebacks like that can happen. But the key was kind of getting back to within a 2-possession game with some time left.
What was it like in the locker room afterwards, Kirk?
Well, I think the combination not only of the comeback, but then knowing that also clinched us the division title, which clinches us a home playoff game, sort of created a snowball effect that made the post-game celebration all the better, and to do it at home as well adds to it. So, we're all just, celebrating, congratulating one another. Speaking of my boys earlier, I was able to kind of get my son Cooper down from the stands and bring him into the locker room for the first time post-game. So, just, tried to make the most of it and have fun with it. And it was interesting because at the same time, there's still so much football left, and we have so much still to play for. So you want to enjoy it, celebrate it. These moments don't come around every week. But at the same time, know that, hey, this is not the end-all, be-all. We got a lot more football up ahead.
By the way, my youngest son's name is Cooper. He has Justin Jefferson on his fantasy team. You make him very happy, Kirk. I'll be very honest with you.
He's a smart GM to have Justin Jefferson on his team.
He is that. So I know you spoke to my colleague, Tom Pelissero, after the game when he told you that you had just helped architect and orchestrate the largest comeback in the history of the NFL, and you asked for a minute, which I thought was such a human moment. Like, I need a minute here. So now that you've had more than a minute, looking back on that, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, and at the time when Tom said that, I hadn't quite connected the dots that means that the previous record was the Bills come back against the Oilers in the playoffs with Frank Reich coming in. And that was a game that I've seen so many times on NFL Network, and you know the history of it. And so to sort of be at that level also meant a lot to me, being a football history buff and knowing what that game meant in NFL history. And I think so much of Coach Reich and all that he's been in the game of football. So it just sort of was a lot of history there, and I guess it's fun to have such a respect for the game and for this league, and then to feel like you were able to be a part of something that might last in this league. I think that's a real thrill.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.